the Alabama Crimson Tide.
Off to the inside, intercepted Alabama, touchdown.
And everything college and high school sports. Now, let's join Andy, Brett, Randy, and Luke for this edition of Sports Blitz Live.
Hello again, everyone, and good Tuesday evening. Welcome into the latest edition of Sports Blitz Live. I am Andy Graham. Alongside Luke Robinson, we'll be with you for the next 2 hours, taking your comments, taking your phone calls, talking about everything going on in the world of sports. 256-234-6221. If you'd like to give us a call, let us know what's on your mind. The 2024 SEC schedules were released last week. We didn't have a chance to talk about those as it was later on in the week, so we'll kind of revisit that tonight and break that down a little bit. What are some of the games that we're looking forward to already? Not to jump ahead too much. I mean, there's a 2023 season to be played, but this one is a lot of fun because you've got some really, really interesting games that we haven't seen very much of. I kind of went through it. I was did a column about it, some games I was looking forward to, and just went through and in looking it up. Auburn and Oklahoma have played twice. Florida and I think Texas have played like 3 times.
When was the last time, do you think?
It was like 49.
Yeah.
Or so, I mean, like crazy. So it's been a long time, and a lot of these matchups have never really taken place all that much. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll look at that. San Diego State apparently wants out of the Mountain West, but not so fast. Maybe we don't want out. We're just maybe checking things out. I don't know. But it looks like they may be a team without a country before it's all said and done. Major League Baseball continues. College World Series continues on. I did not see how TCU –
They won.
TCU won. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they were up 6-1. So Oral Roberts is out. Virginia is out. And LSU and Tennessee playing right now. In Tennessee, it's an elimination game. Actually, it's an elimination game for both. So that should be interesting.
And as somebody said, it's kind of hard to root for anybody in that game. I'm going to pull for LSU probably, just for the heck of it. I mean, they've won it before, so it doesn't bother me as bad.
Their coach is a lot less annoying and arrogant.
Yeah.
So I could probably live with that. But Florida looking good right now. Wake Forest looking good right now. Maybe that's destined to be the College World Series final.
And I don't love baseball, but I do enjoy the College World Series. And the Wake Forest LSU game was a ton of fun.
It was.
I mean, there's
a lot of one-run games here.
Yeah, and it moves faster. There's maybe it's just more excitement because there's variety of fan bases in there, and there's also you've got the folks that go there every year. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like no matter who's playing.
I'm sure there's a lot of people from Nebraska there.
Yeah. So it's that game last night was a lot of fun, and at TCU I think they won by 1 just today, and they lost by 1 to Oral Roberts before. So they're all these one-run games has made it kind of fun, and you especially gets fun now. Because like LSU, while they are extremely talented, they could very well have the first and second pick in the MLB draft, but they're not deep in the bullpen. So it wouldn't shock me if this was a high-scoring game tonight.
Right.
Yeah. Because
great offense. I mean,
yeah.
from both teams. So it should be quite a bit. And I'm so glad they changed it the way they do this several years ago, where you have a best out of 3 series at the end. They didn't used to do it that way, and it ended up being pretty unfair to a lot of teams. But nonetheless, they got it right finally, and I'm looking forward to that. That will begin on Saturday.
Jason Caldwell is a friend of the program, good guy. I mean, I really like his stuff, like him. But apparently he wrote an article, and I hadn't read it, so it's not fair. But I heard about it on another show today.
Throw him under the bus.
Just get out of here, Jason. But he said apparently he made allusions to the fact that it would be better if the college tournament, baseball tournament were like the NCAA tournaments, like one and done. And baseball's not like that. And I don't agree. And the caller, this big Auburn guy, was like, this would make it more fair for a team like Auburn or a team like Alabama that doesn't have a lottery. And I think, no, it's actually kind of the opposite. I mean, because everybody can slip, anybody can slip up. I mean, we see Samford and Troy and UAB beat Alabama and Auburn all the time. Now, again, they're not going against your ace, I understand. But if you're in the NCAA tournament, you probably don't want to throw your ace in that first game anyway. And if every game is a one and done, first of all, the tournament would go by like that because you can play several baseball games in a 3-game span. You can't do that with basketball.
Okay, I'm with you.
So
yeah, I like the double elimination.
I like the double elimination much better, and I think it's really the only way you can do it.
Now, I mean, I guess an argument could be made that rarely, if ever, does somebody come out of the loser's bracket to end up winning the thing. I think it's happened.
No, Fresno State did it as a 4.
Well, were they in the loser's bracket?
You're talking about no. I'm talking about double elimination through the whole thing. He's talking about single elimination from the start, like in the regionals, not even the super regionals.
Okay.
And see, I am totally against that. I'm pro double elimination through the whole thing.
Yeah.
But his point was just make it. You could knock out the whole baseball tournament in a week if you wanted to do single elimination.
Well, yeah, that would seemingly highly favor a team that just had one good pitcher. So I mean, it pays to if you're in a double elimination, then you got to have more than one guy. You got to have some bullpen, and I think there's an art to that, of building that kind of team. So
well, and again, yeah, I think baseball is a series sport. That's why I hate in the MLB playoffs when at the end you have a 1-game playoff.
Well,
stupid.
Well, I think we've done away with that, haven't we? Since
have we? I don't follow MLB that much, but we did it. We had it.
I think we've gone to the 5-game series in all of them. I think.
Really?
I think so.
There's not
in that
1-game
first
series
round
anymore.
I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think we did away with that.
You could be wrong. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I'm not gonna watch it anyway.
Yeah, I didn't figure you would, so I'm wasting my breath anyway, which is precious. 256-234-6221. You can also dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page. That's Sports with a Z. And comment away. We'll take as many of those as we can throughout the show tonight. We are brought to you each and every Tuesday by JR Sports Bar and Grill. Wonderful place to have lunch or dinner right here in downtown Alexander City. Great food, great people, great atmosphere there at JR's Sports Bar and Grill. Also, Sunshine Heating and Air for all your heating and cooling needs. Give them a call today. It's kind of hot outside, so everybody needs good air conditioning, good working order. Never fun when that goes out, but Kevin Keel and those people there at Sunshine Heating and Air can help you out. We'll go ahead and start talking about the schedule a little bit, and then we will just proceed as we see fit. Let's start with Alabama. Alabama, just your initial impression. Did you feel like, and I look, I'm not going to argue with you, but did you feel like Alabama may have gotten the shaft here? A little bit.
I mean, I'm not going to say the shaft, and it's funny because we did all the Locked On hosts did for the SEC schools did a big podcast about when it was my turn to talk about Alabama, I said, yeah, look, Alabama got the toughest draw of all of them. I mean, if you ask me,
Oklahoma's pretty hard.
Oklahoma's pretty tough. I think Florida's pretty tough. But I mean, going to LSU to LSU, Oklahoma, and Tennessee, those are 3 teams that have won a national championship on the road in the last 24 years or something. I know Tennessee's been a little down, but we obviously see them on the come up. LSU is certainly nationally relevant still. I think Oklahoma could be the worst of those 3, ironically, by the time we get around to it. But and everybody's like, oh, Alabama's just whining about it. Look, I think it's fine. I mean, it's going to come around.
Well,
but I do think here's where I think in this one-off they could have done something better. All right, as an Alabama fan, I am cool going to Vanderbilt because anytime you can go to Vanderbilt, it's awesome because it's an easy ticket. It's an easy drive. You'll get to leave early if you want to and go catch up on more college football, and go to Broadway, whatever you want to do. Going to Nashville is about as cool, and it's a guaranteed win. It's about as cool as road trip as you can have. Now, I wish that what they had done, because you look at Florida's schedule. Now, Florida's overall schedule, I think, is more murderous than Alabama's for that 2024 year. And then I say, okay, here's what I wish they had done. I wish that they had said, okay, we're going to take into account who your non-conference is too. Because some of these non-conference games, like, I'll give Auburn, I'm not trying to pick on them, but I'll give them credit for scheduling a Power 5 team, but they scheduled Cal. Cal is putrid. And somebody should have factored that in, saying, all right, it's not right for Texas A&M to be playing Notre Dame, Alabama to be at Wisconsin or face Wisconsin at home, for Florida to take on UCF, Miami, and Florida State and have to and play all these other teams. Texas is going to Michigan. And then some of these other teams get a bottom feeder, of non-conference. What we're going to do is try and even that out with the conference schedule. I think that would have been better because it's a one-off year. This is not. This will have no bearing on what you do going forward,
unless they vote.
Yeah, unless they continue to go 8 games, which again I can live with 8 because I mean when you look at this schedule, I mean if
no matter who's forming,
who's ever it is, I mean there's no easy schedule in here.
No.
I mean we're picking nits, right? I'm not trying to pick on Auburn because the conference schedule is still difficult. I mean, Auburn's got to go to Georgia and do Alabama. That's difficult in its own right. But when you look at LSU that year, 24. They're playing USC in Vegas, and they're welcoming UCLA on that return game from where Ed Orgeron said that guy had a sissy blue shirt on, and then he went on and lost. Yeah. They also have to take on Alabama and Oklahoma at home. They travel to A&M. They travel to USC East. They play both USCs. They travel to Florida. Now, you're missing a game.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that. Apparently, there was some sort of computer glitch.
We should be able to figure it out. I see Oklahoma on there. It's at somewhere at A&M. Well, no,
Oklahoma comes to LSU.
Yeah, but that's not it. It's going to be somebody's home game. Yeah. USC East. I'm trying to zoom through it. Way to go, Andy.
Alabama, Ole Miss.
Oh, Arkansas.
Andy. Yeah, okay.
They're at Arkansas. Okay. I mean, that's pretty stout. And when you consider they're playing both LA teams, that's difficult. A&M's welcoming in Notre Dame. Again, I love that. But I look at Missouri. Like, look, for instance, Missouri. Murray State, Buffalo, Boston College at UMass. Okay, if I'm making the schedule, I'm like, you're not getting Vanderbilt. I can't give you Vanderbilt. I just can't. And they get Vanderbilt, and they get them at home, no less.
Yeah.
So I feel like some of these things should have been tweaked. A couple of other little things. I mean, just from Alabama perspective, why is Alabama playing Missouri? Just play Mississippi State. Isn't that so much better?
Yeah, I don't.
It's the same thing.
It's true. Well, I guess you got to beef up Missouri's schedule a little bit. Tell you what, we'll contemplate that during the break. We'll see where this missing game has gone off to. And we'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Forbes Auto Sales, located on Highway 280 in Kellyton, is all about selection and service. Selection of clean, sharp used cars, trucks, and SUVs selected by Robert Forbes himself. Service. Forbes Auto Sales is all about servicing vehicles on the lot, but also servicing your personal vehicle. Keep this in mind. If you don't see what you're looking for on the lot, just tell old Robert to go shopping for you. That's what he does. Personal service, and that's what it's all about at Forbes Auto Sales in Kellyton.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life.
Russell Do-It Center and building supply stores have the tools and materials to get the job done right, whether you're a professional contractor or just a weekend do-it-yourselfer. With everyday customer conveniences like a drive-through lumberyard, price match promise, and our Best Rewards program, each of our 9 locations offer top brands and building materials like lumber, hardware, tools, paint, lawn and garden, and much more. Visit today and see what Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply can help you build tomorrow.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
Farmers and Merchants Bank of Dadeville is building a foundation of strength and trust in the entire Lake Martin community. With our modern branch in Dadeville and caring, attentive staff, we've established Farmers and Merchants Bank as a reliable friend to your banking needs. Whether it's just a savings or checking account or any commercial, auto, or real estate loan, Farmers has local decision-making to build a relationship with you and your needs. Farmers and Merchants Community Bank. Strength, service, community.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area a team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice. Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you, just getting started on tonight's show. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We are kind of looking over, perusing the 2024 schedule that was released on Wednesday of last week. I'll just run down Alabama's schedule. They'll open with Western Kentucky, August 31st. South Florida, week 2. Wisconsin at home. That Wisconsin team, who knows what they will be by 2024. I mean, Luke Fickell, he's going to make them better.
We're also at Wisconsin. I know you got them at home, but it's at Wisconsin.
It is. I thought it was at Wisconsin this year.
No. At Texas at home this year.
Okay. It's at Wisconsin first.
Yeah.
And then home.
Yeah.
In 25.
And also when we play Wisconsin.
Hey, don't blame me. Blame ESPN for having it wrong.
No, I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying when you factor that in and you say now Alabama's going to Wisconsin, to Tennessee, to LSU, to Oklahoma, and welcoming in Georgia, now I think you look at the schedule even a little more differently. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If Alabama's getting them home, you'd say, okay, more manageable. But those are 4 incredibly tough road games. I mean,
in which, who's to say you won't have 2 of them back to back?
You don't know. And we'll go back to the schedule, but that's the genius of the SEC here, where they've kind of fallen out of a well again. All this controversy about 8 games, 9 games, and they kick the can down the road and they don't vote, where they just say we're going to vote on it later. It turned out to be brilliant. All people have talked about is the SEC schedule.
Yep.
And so now they can have another special when they talk about who's going to play who when. We can do a whole, dates schedule, special. That's going to be awesome. And we get to do this schedule thing again sometime. I don't know when. It probably won't be this late in the year next time. They'll probably figure it out before that, at least I hope. But they'll get to do it again. So it's just more content for the channel. Like, the SEC is figuring out what the NFL has figured out. If you'll just say, we're doing something new, it doesn't matter what we're unveiling the new jock straps for this year. And we're just going to hold them up for each team. People will tune in to watch that.
Yeah. Some people will.
Well, but I'm saying, you didn't watch the schedule reveal?
I did. I caught it, online after, because I was busy with something else. but I didn't catch it at the moment. But you're right. I mean, most of the time you're going to have, especially SEC fans, tune in to absolutely something like that. And the dates will definitely. There's no question that will be a big reveal.
And you can start filling them in a little bit, like okay, Alabama-Auburn's going to be the last day.
Yeah, you would.
Okay,
think.
and so you're going
Texas A&M's got to be the last.
Texas A&M is going to be the last, and so you can begin to put some puzzle pieces together. Georgia-Florida is going to be when Georgia-Florida is. They're not going to move the third Saturday of October too much. I mean, they may move it the week before that, but it's going to be right in there. And then you can start putting these things together, and all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, you could be Georgia at home, at Tennessee, at Oklahoma in 3 straight games? Good Lord.
Yeah, have a bye and then at LSU.
Oh,
yeah, I mean.
That could be a thing. I mean, so that's what's fun is, and again, that's the genius of the SEC with the scheduling thing. All we're going to do is talk about the possibilities for where the schedule could fall now, because it matters. It definitely matters.
Yeah, a lot of people spent weeks just predicting what was the schedule going to be, and there were supposed leaks, and a lot of them were wrong. So somebody at the SEC office is it's like a military operation.
Feeding false information?
Yeah. Okay, so Alabama, Missouri, Georgia, South Carolina, Auburn at home, LSU, Oklahoma, Tennessee, Vandy on the road. For your Auburn Tigers, they do not play in that August 31st week, but they will play, or I guess they will.
Yeah.
That's where the other conference game will be, out of conference. Week 2 will be California at home, New Mexico, week 3. Your home games, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Vandy. Away at Kentucky, at Georgia, at Mizzou, and at Alabama. I know there aren't any divisions anymore, but when I first saw this schedule, and I heard people talking about it, and they were talking about, this and this about this schedule, and that this is not the sexiest schedule. And I'm fine with that because everybody, and I don't want to hear that from any Auburn fan who has complained forever about having the most difficult schedule in the country or one of the top 5. So in any year, if you told me, and I know there aren't divisions anymore, but you said, okay, we'll give you Kentucky, Missouri, and Vandy. You said, I don't care what I'll take.
I'll take the rest of them. Now, again, this is a simple fix. Give Auburn, LSU at home, and take Vanderbilt out.
That's the one game that I'm sad is not on there.
Well, if you do that, this schedule is like, okay, that's fun. And it makes Auburn's home ticket season package look better. Auburn's home games are god-awful. I mean, Oklahoma's marketable right now, but we all see them slowly declining, right?
Yeah, that's still, though.
Okay.
Just the newness of that will be
A&M probably will be much more declined. Arkansas is not going to really move the meter, and Vanderbilt's definitely not. And then you bring in California, who will bring nobody here themselves.
They'll have their 600 people there.
Ooh, I take the under on that.
And oh, really?
I'd take the under on 600 of their people being at their stadium.
Yeah, I think you're underrating Cal.
Okay,
just Cal's a formidable.
But if you put LSU instead of Vanderbilt on that home schedule, on that home docket.
No. We could trade maybe Kentucky or somebody for.
Then you'd be
I'm not trading Vandy.
Here's one of the. You got to get rid of that. That was the thing. I mean, even South Carolina.
You cannot have Vandy.
Well, you and I were laughing during the break. That looks like Vandy's playing every.
We're playing them. Schedule. We're playing them this year.
We're
going to play them next year. And I think we're going to play them in 25. I just got a feeling.
Well, everybody's going to start playing them a little more often if we go to 9 games.
That's right.
But even if it were South Carolina instead of LSU, that game, or Mississippi, why not Mississippi in favor of Vanderbilt?
Well, why not Mississippi in favor of Arkansas? I'm okay with that one too.
Fair.
That one I was shocked that they were not, just for the fact of the lane kick and Hugh Freeze.
The Hugh Freeze.
That just makes too much sense.
Well, and it's weird that Alabama nor Auburn plays a Mississippi school.
That's I mean, Ole Miss. I mean, people don't realize it because we've been playing it. And, I mean, everybody's mind seems to begin in 2000. Yeah. But we didn't play Ole Miss. I mean, we didn't play Ole Miss very much. We played them at the very beginning, literally to kick the season off. Like 4 or 5 times back in the
I remember that
back in the late 80s, early 90s. But Mississippi State has actually been a long time I bet we played them 80, 90 times.
Well, Alabama and Mississippi State have played more than Alabama's played anybody. So, and geographically, they're the closest too. Again, that's not a great argument, but here's the reason that if you're an Alabama and Auburn person, you're like, hey, we like to play Mississippi for the recruiting aspect too. And before you say, well, you'll still go over there and recruit. I mean, look, Florida just came in and took the #1 player in Mississippi, Jamonta Waller, who was giving Auburn a pretty serious look. Florida just got his commitment. He's a 5-star jack linebacker. He committed yesterday. Is big news. I mean, there were a lot of Auburn people that were predicting him to Auburn. It ain't over yet. It ain't over. I know y'all are so cocky. But and I'm not saying an Auburn Ole Miss or an Auburn Mississippi State would have saved that recruitment or anything like that, but anything to keep your name in like the heads of these kids sometimes is a good thing. And it's also, it sort of cuts down on travel for the fans. I mean, it's super easy to get to Starkville.
That's true.
It's super. I mean, it's not super easy to get to Oxford, but it
ain't that hard.
It's a lot easier to get to Oxford than it is to Arkansas.
Yeah.
Or to Missouri.
Or College Station.
Or College Station. God knows I went to College Station a couple years ago. You got to have Ponce de Leon in the passenger seat to get to College Station.
We got to take another break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Are you in the mood to hit the road and travel in style? Then head on over to Opelika RV. You'll receive huge savings on travel trailers, lightweight campers, and fifth wheels by KZ, Sanibel, and StarCraft. Not only will you get the best prices around at Opelika RV, they also have a parts and service center to ensure you're always ready to enjoy a no-hassle road trip. Visit Opelika RV today for superior service and prices. Opelika RV located at 6752 Highway 280 East in Opelika, or give them a call at 334-742-9160.
SCAG, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that SCAG means productivity and reliability. Every SCAG mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. SCAG.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
You want the best opportunity to be successful in life. You deserve that opportunity. Well, you just happens to be in our motto. Central to you, central to your success. Your future is right now. Don't wait. Make your dreams a reality by enrolling at Central Alabama Community College. Register today at cacc.edu.
Looking for an attorney you can trust for your real estate closings? Wisdom Law Firm at Lake Martin has you covered. Your real estate transactions are fast, convenient, and professional every step of the way. Wisdom Law is certified and licensed by the American Land and Title Association and approved by all local lenders. Visit Wisdom Law Firm at 6366 Highway 49 in Dadeville or at their Auburn location at 2353 Bent Creek Road. No communication concerning a lawyer's legal services shall be published or broadcast unless it contains the following language, which shall be clearly legible or audible as the case may be. No representation is made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center provides optimum care for the whole person. Dr. Dimo Popov specializes in the prevention and diagnosis of high blood pressure, kidney disease, diabetes, and acute and chronic conditions. Our weight loss clinic offers lipo shots and a guide to healthy weight loss. Alex City Internal Medicine and Nephrology and Weight Loss Center, where lifestyle changes are made.
Lee Apparel is your go-to vendor for screen-printed and embroidered apparel and promotional products. We print and embroider free custom-made graphics or outsourced designs on everything from t-shirts, headwear, corporate wear, team sportswear, high-end safety apparel, and promotional products. At Lee Apparel, you can always expect quick turnaround time, competitive pricing, friendly customer service, and free in-hands delivery on all orders. Visit us at leeapparel.com to get started.
Welcome back. Good heavens. Welcome back, everyone.
Excuse me.
To the Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. About 30 more minutes left in the first hour of tonight's program. We are looking at schedules in 2024. Looks fairly interesting. Ran down Alabama's schedule last segment. How about Auburn? California, New Mexico, Arkansas, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Vandy. They will play Louisiana Monroe as well out of conference. Road stretch at Kentucky, at Georgia, at Missouri, and at Alabama. Like you said, you can start filling in some of these, but it's going to be, I mean, you say, well, now that we know, that's the big part. How the schedule is laid out is probably as much a big deal as who you play.
100%. I mean, I don't know how – it's going to be very difficult to avoid back-to-back very difficult games. Now with Texas – I mean, look, it used to – I mean, the SEC is always kind of a meat grinder, but, you know, if you ever got South Carolina and Vandy or South Carolina, Mississippi State or something like that back to Missouri, even Ole Miss, back-to-back, you felt like, okay, we can sort of take a bit of a breather in here. But with Texas and Oklahoma joining, I mean, I don't care if you have Vandy in there. I don't care if you do or don't. There's not going to be one of those stretches where you can chill. Yeah. I mean, everything's going to be a big deal. And as I don't know if we even said this on air, at 9-3, I feel like with this schedule, Alabama will get in the playoffs. I mean, I think it'd be very difficult to keep them out when you're at Wisconsin, at LSU, at Oklahoma, at Tennessee, Georgia at home, Auburn at home. I don't see how in the world a 9-3 Alabama team doesn't get in. I think
unless you have some sort of really weird situation,
like a loss to Vandy.
Well, no, I mean like you got like a lot of undefeated,
group of fives or whatever.
Well, I mean even you got a one-loss Big 12 runner-up. You got a one-loss Pac-10 or Pac-12.
But here's the thing to remember about the Big 12. Now they don't have Texas and Oklahoma.
Well, yeah, that one-loss team I'm speaking of is Central Florida.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, it's just going to be more difficult. Everybody wanted this. This is what we're going to get. It's more NFL-ish. And, yeah, it does make it kind of more fun every week, but it also makes it less fun every week because the game isn't going to be quite as meaningful because if you lose, you're like, we probably got one or two more chances.
I think the best thing that the 12-team playoff does is bring playoff games to home campuses. That's worth it all to me.
Okay, that's fine, except the first four seeds don't get any.
No, well, I mean, that's fine. We're probably not going to be a first four seed.
Well, but I'm saying you reward the middling team, the middling of the bunch, which again,
I don't understand why you don't give them that second. That second round.
I mean, because they had to appease the bowls because they have contracts with them.
Come on, man.
I mean, I'm with you, and you have to appease these other communities that count on some of these tourism dollars. I don't know. I'm throwing stuff against the wall. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, because bowls, they draw a lot of people.
No, well, but look, everybody always says that, and I'm like, why do they keep making more bowls then? It's not like they're not making money. They're making serious money.
It's TV money.
Yeah.
If nothing else, they break even. It's free. It's the advertising. It's just
right.
Worth it, so. Okay. How about some more of these schedules? Arkansas, they go on the road to play Oklahoma State in week 2 out of conference. Get UAB at home in 2022. Not even before they even get to their conference schedule. LSU at home, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Texas. Just that right there for Arkansas. I mean, I'm looking at that and I say 0-4.
Good luck.
LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, and Texas. At home.
I mean,
probably you win one.
Yeah, I just look. Arkansas is doing okay. They're doing okay in recruiting. In fact, I think by one service they're actually ranked a little bit ahead of Alabama right now. Now they have more commitments They, and the average star ranking is vastly different. But my point is, just okay is going to get you 0-4 on that schedule. You know what I mean? It's going to be some proud programs are going to get really embarrassed with these 2 new entries, and some of those proud programs may be Texas or Oklahoma.
Yeah,
you're not playing Texas Tech every week anymore.
Somehow I don't. In all fairness, I was highly medicated when I did this, apparently, because apparently, as I have it, Arkansas is playing Tennessee at home and Tennessee on the road.
That makes it really difficult.
That's going to be really tough. At Auburn, I'm not sure who their schedule is. At Missouri, and then they have that neutral site game against A&M.
I know what you did with Arkansas. It shouldn't. Well, no, you didn't. I don't know what you did.
I don't know what I did.
Maybe UT is Texas and UT is Tennessee.
It is, but they're both on.
I see. They're both on the home. Yes.
So I've screwed this up.
Well, they definitely. It's not Oklahoma.
No.
Let me see if I can figure it out. I'm trying to do your work for you, Andy.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
It looks like
somebody too.
It looks like it might be. Well, no, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. You did.
Let's see. Ole Miss has Arkansas on the road. South Carolina does not play Arkansas. Tennessee, as we mentioned.
Could it be Mississippi State? I think it's Mississippi State.
Okay.
Mississippi State at home. Or Mississippi State. They'll be at Mississippi State instead of at UT.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think that's right.
We'll stick with that anyway.
I could easily do this on the Googler machine, but I'd rather figure it out.
This is so much more fun and so much more entertaining.
This is entertaining radio.
Speaking of that, we'll go ahead and take a break. I will again, I guess, smoke some crack or something to see if I can figure this out. But we'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Looking to sell your car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than King Honda. As a local family-owned business, we're committed to providing you with the best service and value. Nobody pays you more for your vehicle than King Honda.
You've trusted us for generations. You can trust King Honda to give you top dollar for your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not. Trust in our time-tested tradition of excellence at King Honda.
Visit King Honda today and get top dollar for your vehicle. Located on the corner of Opelika Highway and 280.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Hey, honey, it's Mom. Just wanted to call and check in, see how everything's going. You'll probably say not to worry. Everything is great. But we miss you. I'll call you back later. How are you? Tell me everything.
Everything's great. I love it here.
This is Joseph Dean with Alabama Funeral Homes. As many of you are aware, we had a fire that significantly damaged our facilities. We are in the process of getting those rebuilt. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused the families that we serve. I want you to know that we are capable of handling all of your needs at Frederick Dean Funeral Home of Opelika, which will be servicing Alabama Funeral Homes families. We can be reached at our same number, 256-896-4502, or by email at joseph@alabamafuneralhomes.com.
You've dreamed about the perfect house, a place to call your own, and a place to not only stretch out, but to grow. Auto Owners protects your house because to you, it's home. That's simple human sense. Happy to help, man. I was just over there talking to myself anyway.
Frontline Outfitters provides all your aftermarket parts for your cars, trucks, and as well as your professional tinting solutions for auto, residential, and commercial buildings. Frontline Outfitters also handles vinyl wraps, spray-in bed liners, truck accessories, LED lighting, paint correction and detailing, and much more. Make sure Frontline Outfitters of Alexander City is your first call for tinting and aftermarket solutions. Call us today, 256-409-8100.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. About 20 more minutes left in the first hour of tonight's
Can
program.
I start? Since we're talking about schedules, let me just first of all, I was wrong. TCU beat Oral Roberts 6-1. I saw 6-5 somewhere, but it was 6-1 today. Secondly, talking about schedules. All right, this is Michigan's schedule for this year. Now, why this hadn't dawned on me before now, I don't know. I guess I've been too SEC-centric. East Carolina at home, UNLV at home, Bowling Green at home, Rutgers at home, at Nebraska, at Minnesota, versus Indiana at home, at Michigan State, Purdue at home, at Penn State, at Maryland, Ohio State at home. That's the ultimate cakewalk.
Yeah, at Penn State maybe is a challenging game, but
the last three games to me are clearly their most difficult. At Penn State, at Maryland, Ohio State. And I mean, playing Ohio State's always difficult, but you get them at home. And usually by this time, Penn State's probably out of it. I mean, they're always pretty good in the beginning, and then they seem to slip. They should be getting a lot more heat for this schedule. It's very weak.
Well, when you make the playoffs and you make it back-to-back a couple of times, you can sneak in a schedule like this and people will give you the benefit of the doubt. So Harbaugh's taken he took a lot of abuse for, Michigan being good but not great. Now he's got them in a position where they're actually challenging for national championships. So I think he probably wants to stay there.
Yeah, and I do respect the fact they're playing Texas the next year, home and home or whatever. But I mean, it's a lot like Georgia this year.
You can't choose who you play in the conference.
No, and again, if they had mixed in a USC, a Notre Dame, an LSU, or whatever in there, I think we'd all go, okay. I mean, you have Ohio State, you have USC, and you're at Penn State. I think we could all live with that for this year. But that's a joke.
It's not good. It's not good. Texas is going to Michigan in 24.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's a cool game.
Yeah, that is pretty cool. But Texas, while we're looking at them, Colorado State at Michigan, UTSA, ULM. So they got all the U's. And then Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi State. On the road at Arkansas, neutral site against Oklahoma, Dallas. They're probably comfortable playing there. At Vandy and at A&M. That seems. Now Florida, Georgia, Oklahoma. That game's always fun. At Texas A&M. That one's going to be. They haven't played in I think 11 years.
Oh, that's going to be raucous.
No, 2011. It's the last time they played.
That's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun game to go to. It'll probably be. I mean, I hope they move it to Thanksgiving again. That's a fun Thanksgiving game.
Yeah.
And because I definitely don't want it to be the same day as the Iron Bowl.
No.
But I've always said I'm going to have to go to Ohio State Michigan game at some point just to see.
Well, you played this one in the afternoon. You play the Egg Bowl at night, or vice versa.
Yeah.
On a Thanksgiving.
Well, I mean, you could. Yeah, I would do. I think the Egg Bowl's got to be at night. If we're going to see guys acting like urinating dogs again, I think that's got to be at night.
There's always a chance. You mentioned Vanderbilt. They play a neutral site game with Virginia Tech.
Yeah. I mean, they just can't.
Norfolk State, SMU at home, which is quite honestly probably 50-50, at Georgia State. That one I don't quite understand.
I mean, look, it's Vandy. I don't know. It's for all the brilliance, they can't get this football thing right.
Alabama at home, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Texas. Auburn on the road, Kentucky on the road, at LSU, at Missouri. So Alabama, Tennessee, Texas, Auburn, and LSU.
Again, it was an easy fix to change out Vandy with one. I mean, don't give them all that. That's a lot. Now, their home ticket package is attractive. The bad news is all the other teams are going to buy their home ticket packages.
Yeah. It probably.
It's just.
You won't even
have you ever been there for a game?
No.
I've been there a few times. I'm telling you, it is a home game for the opposing team.
I mean, how big, if there is such a thing as the Vandy fan base? I mean, these are all, a lot of them are medical people. It's not like they can't
Well, they
afford,
need to be. Their team's beat
not
up a
like,
lot.
it's not like they can't afford season pass here.
But if you go to, I mean, if you go to the Vandy
like
game.
three-fourths to a quarter?
Of what?
Fans.
Oh, I'm thinking, I can tell you, I went in 17 when, it was right after Vanderbilt had just beaten, maybe it was TCU.
Just when they opened 3-0.
And the guy said, Alabama, you're next. And Alabama beat them 59-0.
Yeah. They had the number one defense.
They had number one defense in the country. Tua, he sort of had a breakout moment late in the game. Jalen Hurts obviously started, but Tua escaped somebody and threw a left-handed, like almost not looking pass to Devontae Smith for a touchdown. Everybody was like, oh my God. But it was just a throwdown. I'm telling you, it was more than 50% Alabama fans. It wasn't full, but so therefore it's almost like there were more Alabama fans because the empty seats, were just Alabama fans that couldn't get through the traffic. Right. It's not easy to park there. It's not easy to get around.
Where is it? Is it on campus?
It's on campus. But it's it was a beatdown, and it always is. Georgia goes up there and beats them.
Y'all proved a lot, beating them 59-0.
Well, they were ranked, and they did call us out. Nobody told them to do that.
That is fair. That was your boy Derek Mason.
It was, and he did not fare well after that. I mean, but what I'm saying is if whoever's going to Vandy this year, Auburn's going this year, it'll be an Auburn home crowd. They're definitely more vocal.
Yeah.
And it's an easy trip to Nashville, and it's a fun weekend. And see, if you're a Vandy fan, if you're an Auburn fan, Alabama fan, Oklahoma fan, Texas fan, whatever, and you go to Vandy, you're like, I get to see my team romp, and I get to be at Nashville. I get to go to a cool sports bar, and hit a music scene or whatever, and catch more games, and maybe catch the Titans play next day. If you're a Vandy fan, you're like, if I go to the stadium, I got to see my team get whipped, and I miss all the other college football.
Yeah.
That's a good game.
Yeah, this has got this Auburn at Vanderbilt has got one of these 8 o'clock starts written all over it, or an 11 a.m., one or the other.
No, I was thinking 8 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I mean, Auburn's going to play at 9:30 at night against Cal, so they're going to be all over the map when it comes to that.
That was some ESPN doing if there ever was.
I don't even know. I don't even know where to go with that one, but
You're not going to go?
Are you kidding?
Do we know anybody going? I have some friends in Birmingham that are going.
Okay, wonderful.
They're going to do the wine country stuff and then go. But I mean, Brett, Randy, anybody associated with us going? Do you know?
I have not heard.
Because I'm going to tell you, that's not a weekend trip.
No,
I don't know. That's a 4 or 5 dayer.
I don't know. I've never heard anybody say, "Hey, you know where I've always wanted to go?
Berkeley.
I hate Ashbury."
Yeah.
What? No, Berkeley. No, not gonna happen. But like you said,
will you be up for it?
Yes. Will I see the end of it?
Yeah.
Depends on what the score is.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Got to take a break. We'll be back with one final segment in the first hour of tonight's show right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and the names have been changed because Brubaker Motors has sold to Sons Automotive. You heard right. Brubaker CDJR is now Sons Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Montgomery. Furthermore, Sons Automotive is a family business with dealerships throughout the Southeast. The name Sons Automotive is synonymous with trust, and they care about the communities they're a part of. They're excited to serve the River region, and in the interest of justice, you will be served a sentence of big savings. Sons CDJR of Montgomery. Family owned, family driven.
Whether it's Lake Martin, Lay Lake, or Logan Martin, boaters from all over the state of Alabama come to Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama, because it's worth the drive. With the best deals on unbeatable Suzuki outboards, Manitou and Landau Tritoons, and a great pre-owned inventory while they last. Alex City Marine is the pros the locals know. And no matter where you're from, when you're here, you're local to us. Alex City Marine, just off Highway 280 in Alexander City, Alabama. AlexCityMarine.com. You don't have to ask who, what, or why. Who's Diner is the go-to place for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Conveniently located at the corner of Highway 22 and 280 in Alex City. Who's Diner offers the best meals and the best deals in town. Try our fresh, made-from-scratch pancakes, chicken salad, Philly cheesesteak, or the Who Burger. It doesn't get any better than who? Who's Diner, of course, on the corner of Highway 22 and 280. Who's hungry? The same professionals you've trusted with your urgent care is now your primary health provider. Main Street Family Care. We provide annual physical exams as well as monitoring health conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, asthma, and more. All major insurances accepted, Medicaid, Medicare, and have self-pay options to accommodate everyone. See us in Alex City, just across from Walmart. Your care is our primary concern.
Main Street Family Urgent Care. Heal better, feel better fast.
Coastal Construction Design is the area's storm specialist experts and offers free roof inspections absolutely free to assess your needs. Their roofing experts get your home or commercial needs handled from start to finish. They have worked with all major insurance sources for decades, and they are permitted and approved for Lake Martin. Coastal Construction Design also handles exterior restoration, including siding and gutters. They are also a GAF certified contractor. Visit coastalconstruction.pro or call 251-215-3429. Coastal Construction Design. All things roofing from start to end.
There's nothing like a brand new truck. From Sarah Automotive, new Honda Ridgelines from $349 a month, Ford Rangers from $357 a month, and Nissan Frontiers from $379 a month. One of the largest truck selections in Alabama. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty, no charge, engine, powertrain, and more. There's nothing like a brand new truck. From Sarah Honda, Sarah Ford, and Sarah Nissan, serving Alabama since 1981.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Appreciate all of you out there being with us tonight. 256-234-6221. Give us a call. Let us know what is on your mind. We mentioned Oklahoma. Welcome to the SEC. Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas in a neutral site. That's one of your home games. At Auburn, at LSU, at Ole Miss, at Missouri. So Alabama, South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Auburn, LSU, Ole Miss.
That is crazy.
That's tough.
That's very difficult. And considering –
And throw in Tulane, who, who knows?
Now, they have Jackson Arnold, I think, one of the top quarterbacks in the country coming in. They haven't had Lincoln Riley took a lot of their offensive prowess, it seemed like. Didn't Texas beat them like 49-0?
It was
bad.
Worse. It was bad.
So –
they had no defense.
You wonder if Oklahoma's going to be better than that.
Answer me this. What is it about defensive coordinators that appear to be, and, by the statistics, were pretty good, completely forget how to coach defense when they become head coaches?
It is crazy. I think it's more about you have to embrace the offensive revolution. and it's very difficult for some defensive coaches to do that. Now, Saban's been able to do it, but you could tell he was like on the precipice of like, hey, I've got more talent than everybody, and we got good game plans, but why can't we keep up with some of these teams? Then they were like, you need to start getting some more prolific quarterbacks. I mean, A.J. McCarron, do you remember when we all thought A.J. McCarron was just the bomb? I mean,
No.
dare I say, no, but I'm serious, like from an Alabama perspective.
Yeah, I got you.
But the last 4 starting quarterbacks, maybe even – I mean, would you rank A.J. in the top 5? I mean, I guess you would because he won 2 championships, almost won a third. But, I mean, obviously Jalen Hurts was better. Obviously Tua is better. Obviously Bryce is better.
I don't know if I'd say Jalen Hurts was better in college. He's a better football player, but, I mean, that's I don't think he was a better college quarterback.
He tailed off. Jalen had a bad tail off at the end, right?
Well,
of his Alabama career. But he also had some unbelievable moments. You know, Alabama wins the national championship against Clemson if the defense can hold up, or if they call offensive pass interference. He wins it. The freshman, and he made the play to win it.
Yeah.
You know, A.J., for all the great things he did for Alabama, and again, I'm not taking a shot at him. He owns a lot of records. But for all the great things he did, boy, the only game where I remember, like, okay, we needed him in that moment was the LSU game where he hit TJ for the TJ Yeldon for the touchdown. And but TJ sort of made a man miss. You know, that was a screenplay. Now, he had some great throws to Kevin Norwood on that drive to make it happen. I'm not trying to disparage A.J. McCarron. What I'm trying to say is Alabama upgraded their quarterback game.
Oh, there's no question about that. But back to my original question.
Which was?
Defensive coordinators, answer me this. Okay, look, I don't claim to be a football guru. Okay, I know a little bit about football. And I know and I'd like to think that I know something when I can see it. Brent Venables goes and gets a job at Oklahoma. And who does he bring in as his defensive coordinator?
I can't remember.
Teddy Roof.
Oh, God, yes, I do remember.
So
I was about to say, not Ted Roofs.
So, I mean, are you kidding? I give him credit. I always have. He had a phenomenal game plan against Alabama in 2009. He had a phenomenal game plan against Oregon in 2010. Those 2 games, hey, man, he's money. All the rest of the time, so is Ted Roof a great defensive coordinator? No. Would I want him anywhere near my program? No.
For old Sports Blitz fans, both of you, y'all will remember the Chicago Bob Parlay days. And my brother played a character called Chicago Bob Parlay, and he loved him some Ted Roofs. And when Ted Roofs was fired, we did a whole thing set to Lionel Richie music of "Hello, is it me you're looking for?" And he was just looking down, crying that Ted Roof had been let go.
I think that's everybody that hires him now.
No, you're not crying because you let him go. He was crying that Ted Rivers let go because he bet against him every time. It was easy money.
It makes sense. So I don't get it. Venables seems like a smart guy, but if I'm an Oklahoma fan and that was one of the first hires he made, I go, ooh, buyer's remorse. So, but anyway, I mean, I can go down the list. Gene Chizik, Kirby's really. He and Saban really, I mean, even Saban, the defense has gotten, it's not near as what it was at one time. But, I mean, he and Kirby really the only 2 that I've ever seen that have become head coaches and were able to put a quality defense on the field. So, it's really bizarre.
Well, and they also have come around to, got to have that quarterback. It feels like the defensive guy, I mean, like go back to Gene Stallings, right? Mm-hmm. And, he had Jay Barker, and Jay Barker had his moments. Jay Barker also threw for 17 yards in the national championship game. So, Yeah, you gotta have that quarterback, man. It's hard to not. And meanwhile, conversely, if you have the quarterback, you can do magical things. Auburn in 2010, Texas A&M going in and beating #1 Alabama in 2012. If you have the quarterback, Joe Burrow leading LSU. Now he had some other weapons too, but I mean he was pretty awesome. If you have the quarterback, you can make up for the rest of stuff. But if you have everything else but a quarterback, you're vulnerable. It's crazy.
That is true. That is true. And to be because there's a lot of 5-star quarterbacks, but not a lot of them turn out to be great quarterbacks. You got to have an eye for what's, and part of it's luck, I think, but there is some evaluation.
It's hard to measure how somebody's going to play on that stage. In high school, you can play against IMG, but, you can play for IMG. You can play against Hoover or Thompson. We can be in these big moments. But, boy, it's hard to tell what's going to happen when there are 102,000 in Bryant-Denny or 100-something thousand in Baton Rouge or Knoxville or Auburn. It's very difficult to say how you're going to do when those lights come on.
Yeah.
That's different. And everybody's hating you, and they don't know you. And everybody's been calling your phone number all week.
Yeah,
it's been
they've stolen your phone.
They've stolen your phone number. I mean, stuff like that is very difficult to and by the way, when we come back, we can talk about this. But, you talk about how valuable quarterbacks are. The devaluation of running backs is incredible. Dalvin Cook, he's in his prime, it feels like. Minnesota lets him walk. Ezekiel Elliott, now he's tapered off some, but, 2 years ago, he was the bee's knees. Now Dallas is like, can we get rid of you fast enough? Quarterbacks are, can play until their 40s now, as Tom Brady and others have shown us. But if you're a running back, and I'll tell you a recruiting thing here in a moment when we come back.
All right. We'll end on that, and that'll reel you back in. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. We'll take a break. We'll be back with hour number 2 of Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Now at Glenn Smith and Opelika, GMC Sierra Crew Cabs discounted up to $10,500 off. GMC Terrains up to $4,750 off. And Buick Enclaves up to $5,000 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com. Plus, no payments for 120 days at Glenn Smith Buick GMC.
Over 250 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
The Alabama Slammer. It's a popular drink at parties, but drink too many and you'll wind up in this Alabama Slammer. And if you drink and drive, get ready for a real Alabama Slammer. If you're involved in a crash where a driver's been drinking, you're 4 times more likely to die.
Drive safe, Alabama. A message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
There's only one clear choice in the Lake Martin area for plumbing, heating, and air. That's All Clear Plumbing and Air. Our professionally trained technicians offer full service repair and installation on all major brands. From drips to water heaters, thermostats to entire air conditioning and heating systems, and everything in between. Our fast, reliable, and guaranteed top-notch customer service will keep you informed and up to speed through the entire process. Call us today or look for us on Facebook and Instagram at All Clear Plumbing and Air, 256-496-2056. License number 19172.
If you haven't been to Big B Barbecue in Alex City, then you're missing the best barbecue around. Big B has everything from the best pulled or chopped pork, chicken, and beef to cheeseburgers and grilled chicken salads. Bring your friends and family out for a great dinner and sit outside on our beautiful patio, or sit inside and enjoy your meal by the fireplace. So come in and join us and enjoy the best barbecue in the area only at Big B Barbecue, located on Highway 22 West in Alex City.
Hi, this is Jimmy Goree at Goree's Furniture. Come join us for the madness of March. Come join us here at Goree's Furniture. Make a purchase, shoot from the line, 5, 10 to 15. That's % discount off your total ticket. So come join us. Let's have some fun. Everyone's a winner. Everyone will save. Come join us for the madness of March, and that's only at Goree's Furniture.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy Graham and Luke Robinson here with you, taking you up to 9 o'clock this evening. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. 256-234-6221 is our number here. Also, dial us up on the Sports Blitz Facebook page, that's Sports with a Z, and comment away. Talked a lot about the new 2024 SEC schedule in the first hour of tonight's program. If you got any thoughts on that, we'll touch on maybe a couple more things, but you had something about quarterbacks.
Well, this is just interesting. I was talking to some other Locked On hosts tonight. We do a little roundtable on Tuesdays, and somebody brought up, I won't even mention the name just because that would be a little icky, but there's a running back recruit, and big name, very highly rated, not from the state of Alabama, so not going there. Not really looking at Alabama or Auburn, I don't think. But there was another host from another SEC team that said, this kid wants $1 million NIL deal. And everybody was like, and this team apparently told him to kick rocks. And everybody was like, man, a running back asking for $1 million? What are you, crazy? And I said, look at it another way. If I'm a running back and I'm a 5-star, I'm like, I'm going to get all my money now because at 27, I'm done, apparently. If Dalvin Cook is being released, Derrick Henry hadn't been re-signed by the Titans or traded or anything yet. Ezekiel Elliott doesn't really have a home yet. These are stars, that are still really good. Now, Henry's a bit of a different case because, he can fall forward and get you 4 yards.
Yeah.
But Dalvin Cook's whole game is dependent on speed. So, now he's got other talents too, and I think Dalvin Cook's awesome. But wow, Minnesota's just letting him walk.
Nature of football has changed.
It is.
It's a passing game.
But that's my point, is that if I'm a high school 5-star, I'm like, you got to pay me now because I'm not going to get mine on the back end. A lot of these quarterbacks, a lot of these wide receivers, a lot of these offensive linemen who can play for years. Even wide receivers who were once like speedy can become possession receivers that are dependable, that know the game. But if you're a running back that's lost a step, it's a problem unless you're huge.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's sad. Which I guess there's nobody will ever break Emmitt Smith's record. Which that's probably, I don't know. Football, it changes. It kind of goes.
It does get cyclical, but boy, it's become so offensive friendly now.
Well, sooner or later they'll say, we need to start changing the rules a little bit to make it a little more defensive friendly.
Well, you would think, but see, now we've gotten into so much safety stuff, I don't know that you can go back to unless you say you can tug on jerseys legally, when you're like guard. If you could pass interfere legally, all of a sudden defense has an edge. Running backs become more valuable.
Yeah, well, there's a difference. Now, you literally cannot put your hand, you can't touch anybody. That's going too far. There's a difference between chucking somebody and, putting a hand on them, just to kind of guide them or this way or whatever, and pass interference. But that's crazy.
And they so rarely
I miss
call
those days.
pass interference.
I always thought that was, that was one of the great parts of the game. Just that, watching great running backs, do what they do.
God, our era of growing up, obviously Herschel Bowe, but I can remember Murray Hill for Alabama having big games in 1988. Bobby Humphrey, for the love of God. He was so much fun to watch against Penn State that one night. He just ate them up. But how often, you just don't do we see a lot of 200-yard games? I mean, and here's the other thing. If a quarterback doesn't have a 250-yard game, you're like, what's wrong with him?
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have a 400-yard game to really get people's attention these days. You know?
Sure. 3 or 4 touchdown passes.
And so it's just different. Times are just different. And there's nothing wrong with it. But, I mean, if you're a running back, if I'm in the NFL and I'm with the Players Association, I'm like, hey, we got to start doing something to bring my worthiness back up. You know, I got to be able to have more longevity than this.
I mean, what would Herschel Walker, would Bo Jackson, would they be quarterbacks? Would they be linebackers, defensive ends? I mean, because
make a lot more money.
Yeah. I mean, and you know, you should probably start them in high school. You'd say, no, I'm saying you don't want to be a running back. You'll make more money if you'll do this, or you'll be more highly regarded if you'll do that. So that would be a shame.
You would think the chance for injuries less. You would think. I mean, I don't know the statistics there, but I mean, I would think a running back is going to get hit.
Yeah.
Now, you know, obviously a linebacker will too, but they also have more of a running back's so dependent on, you know, I'm going to run the A gap, that the crease has to be there, you know, and you just run right into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people are diving at your legs all the time, you know.
And, you know, just planting now to, you know, you see more injuries, non-contact blown out the knees than you do getting hit.
Yeah.
In the last probably 20 years.
It's an interesting, you know, could you go back and look and see, could some of these guys play a different position and what would they be? But
I don't think Barry Sanders could play.
No.
He's just the.
But, you know, and here's the thing, you could say we didn't get to see Barry Sanders decline. Barry he's one of those guys that, and I heard another sports show talking about this, national sports show, like there are a lot of folks that now that are playing sports that don't seem to love them as much. You know, it is about the money, which it makes sense. I mean, that's how a lot of people are. You know, I'm going to do what I can to make the most money. And you know, if you're basketball, I'm 7'2", and I got an 8-foot wingspan. I don't love basketball, but I can get paid a bunch of money to do it. You know, same thing with football. Like I'm superhumanly fast or strong, and I don't really love going out here and doing this, but I get paid a lot to do it. But what it does, it takes a little bit out of the, you know, the game to a degree.
Yeah.
There is something about, you know, when I see a lot of guys now do like, say Michael Jordan did. Remember when he won that title and his dad had died that year, and he goes in there and he's crying. I can't explain why. That felt incredibly genuine. When I see guys lay down on the court now after winning the championship, it feels like they're doing it for a photo shoot. Does that? Am I wrong?
No, I could see that. I definitely think it seemed to mean more, but there was even though you were making a ton of money, there was still that aspect of let's do it. You know, we're doing this really for the love of the game. But
this goes back
to what it is.
This goes back to, you know, my whole anti-expansion argument that. You know, there's a time where the Iron Bowl or Georgia Tech or whatever meant so much if both teams were going to the Birmingham Bowl and the Liberty Bowl. I mean, it was just, that was the thing. And now it's like if you're not going to be involved in the playoffs, it's sort of like, hey, okay. Or if one of them is definitely in the playoffs, another one isn't, you're like, okay, yeah, you cost us a couple of spots. Ho hum. You know.
Yeah.
That is moderately bothersome, but it's just part of the changing sport. You got to roll with it.
And this is true. Well, on that depressing note, we will take a break, but don't fear, we'll be back with more right after these important messages.
Talladega Outdoors in Talladega is your authorized Kawasaki sale and service center. Your home for Bad Boy mowers and Kimco scooters, four-wheelers, and side-by-side. Rather for hunting, land management, or recreation, they have the ride for you. But they are also everything outdoor with full lines of accessories and is now your Ariat workwear and boot store, along with kayaks and outdoor accessories. Talladega Outdoor, Highway 21 in Talladega. Everything outdoor and Alabama's #1 Kawasaki dealer.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, And now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
If you're tired of the same old and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
They say we live in an age of big data, where computers and fancy algorithms are supposed to know you best. But at Country Financial, we know helping you own your future requires, well, something much bigger. Contact your local Country Financial representative and start planning for your future with a personal touch.
When you need an automotive hero, you got to call S&S Discount Tire Pros. With locations in Alexander City and Dayville, we are here to serve you today. From quick services like oil changes and tire rotations to in-depth automotive repairs such as suspensions, brakes, and tune-ups, S&S can take care of all your tire needs. You just have to focus on what's important and love the drive. Call S&S Discount Tire Pros today. We are automotive heroes, and we are here to serve you.
Now at Glenn Smith and Opelika, GMC Sierra Crew Cabs discounted up to $10,500 off. GMC Terrains up to $4,750 off. And Buick Enclaves up to $5,000 off. Shop online anytime at glennsmith.com. That's GLYNN Smith.com. Plus, no payments for 120 days at Glenn Smith Buick GMC.
Over 250 new and used vehicles on the lot or on the way to Glenn Smith and Opelika. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. About 45 more minutes left in tonight's program. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us. I got a question for you. You know, we've had this. You like tennis, right?
I love tennis.
Novak Djokovic, the greatest tennis player of all time, question mark.
I think so. I think you got to put him up there. He's got more titles than anybody now.
He's got 23.
I watched him in the he was the only reason you watch the French Open. It's really the only reason you watch tennis right now. I mean, no Serena. By the way, Megan Rapinoe said that Sue Bird was the greatest female athlete of all time. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
I mean, I know several other women I would put above her. Not saying she's not a good player. Doesn't mean because you're not the greatest of all time doesn't mean you're not a good player. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because
all that hair dye's gone to her brain.
I was thinking of Serena, like Serena's in the discussion.
Sure.
But you were just in the tennis thing. But Djokovic is just, he's awesome.
Well,
and he's a good dude.
He is.
He seems like a really good person.
And I like the fact that he's anti-vax.
Yeah. Well, and
and that cost him a couple of majors.
It did. And
a couple of Grand Slams.
And that is BS. And I have no problem saying this. I now will call myself out. I was saying, hey, man, if you don't want to do it, that's fine. But if they don't want to let you in, I get it too. Now I think I was wrong. I think that's look, that whole thing could set off a firestorm. So I guess no reason to go into it. But I think we got a caller.
Okay.
Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Andy. Hey, Luke. How y'all doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Pretty good. Pretty good. It's almost mind-boggling to hear the names you guys are rattling off. At 27, 28 years old, they're done.
I know. Isn't it sad? It's sad.
And it tells you how much pressure there are on coaches to win. Because if a guy loses, not a step, Luke, a half a step.
Yep.
And they feel such pressure to win. They're paid them so much enormous money, that there's the pressure's just become enormous. And it's going to get worse. Could you imagine Rocky Blyer playing a fullback in the NFL at 185 pounds?
Jeez. I mean, You know, it's just the game's changed so much. It's very difficult for us to keep up sometimes. I mean, and look, the NFL also is trying to capture the imaginations and the hearts of younger people so that they, you know, grow to love the game like we did and stick with it no matter what. And of course, that's trickled down into college football and high school. But you know, it's just sad. I love a good running back story, and some of our most fond players in Alabama and Auburn history are running backs.
What made Bo Jackson such an anomaly was it was almost unheard of for a guy in 1982 to be 220 pounds and move like that.
That's right.
So and Herschel Walker was the same way. Remember Luke Herschel Walker got on TV and said, "I never lift weights." Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, you know, he did do like 6,000 push-ups a day, though, or something ridiculous. Maybe he didn't have time to lift weights because he was pushing up on everything.
1,000 push-ups, 2,000 sit-ups.
Yeah.
Just insane.
And I think he still does
believe he spent some time in the weight room on top of that. May not be every day, but I say a couple of days a week. You don't look like that by doing push-ups.
Well, Bo never liked to lift either.
Yeah, because I don't spend any time in the weight room either, and I don't look nothing like that.
Hey, okay. Well, I don't either, so, yeah. But, hey, it's just mind-boggling, guys. And, Luke, you were talking about a recruit. Did I hear you correctly say recruits demanding $1 million or asking for $1 million?
Yeah, I think asking for $1 million in NIL. And I mean, look, we knew all this was coming, and this is all sort of secondhand. But I mean, we can all believe it, right?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Now, Luke, can you say what area of the country he's from? I know you don't want to say his name. I was just curious. He's from the West Coast.
No, he's not from the West Coast.
Okay,
I'll go that far.
It wouldn't surprise me because the mindset on the West Coast. And it would surprise you his last name's not Manning, but the Manning family's doesn't need no money, trust me.
Yeah, but, you know, it's so funny. Everybody always says, you know, this doesn't need money, that doesn't need money, but that's probably why they have money is because they're always thinking about money. So I don't know if Arch Manning got a big NIL deal. I don't know. I do know that he loves Steve Sarkisian. And if Sarkisian had not left Alabama, if he were still the offensive coordinator, which probably wouldn't have happened, somebody would have hired him. But let's just say he would have. I think Arch Manning would be at Alabama. Do I think that'd be great? I don't know because, frankly, I watched Arch Manning in the spring game, and I wasn't wowed, you know?
Well, I'm not particularly wowed at anybody in the spring game because it's just a glorified scrimmage is all it really.
But you can sometimes see.
Yeah, you can see a little bit. You're right.
You can see the spark that we're like, oh, okay. Now, again, a spring game can also lead you to, you know, false hope for some guys. I know Auburn's had a guy for like 3 years that always did really well, but you never saw him on the field. Now, that may be more of a Harsin Malzahn problem than that guy's problem. But I'm saying sometimes these things can give you a false sense of security.
Yeah, his name was Malik Willis.
I wasn't thinking of him, but that's also very fair.
And then he went somewhere else and shined because that was a Malzahn problem. Malzahn couldn't coach quarterbacks. We all know that.
That is 100%
Malik Willis would have been an All-American or anything close to that. But I tell you right now, he wasn't going to be anything under Gus Malzahn. I can promise you that.
I would agree with that 100%.
I like Gus when he got hired. I thought it was a good hire. But, you know, he let's face it, every quarterback he's inherited has been a transfer, something like that. It's not somebody he recruited.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, everyone he's recruited, he's ruined.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Take Jeremy Johnson. I know he had struggles and everything, but when he come out of high school, I heard all the people say, this guy's going to be a beast.
I'll be honest with you. I thought he was going to be a beast. I saw him as a sophomore beat Auburn at Auburn, or I don't know if they beat him, but they came close. And, man, I was like, this kid is slinging it all over the place. And, boy, then, of course, he came out against, was it Arkansas?
Well, I opened against Louisville and threw 3 picks.
Yeah.
And,
no, but I'm saying the Arkansas game when he took over for Nick Marshall.
Well, yeah, for the first half.
Yeah, because Nick Marshall was suspended.
He come in place of Nick Marshall during the 13 season, I think, and looked fantastic.
That's right.
Yep.
Just something happened. I don't know what, but something did.
Well, Gus Malzahn.
Back to what I was saying a while ago, and I'm going to close on this. The fact that kid's last name is Manning gives me all the confidence. I don't care how he looks in the spring game.
No, I'm with you on that. And you it's like, what is it in Star Wars? The Mando-chloridians? Justin Clayton's probably watching. He can tell me. I can't remember. Midichlorians. You know, something like that. Iceberg, Goldberg. But, you know, you can it's sort of like having a bunch of those, you know, in your bloodstream. You know you're a Jedi eventually.
Yeah. I just think the last name Manning carries a lot of weight. And until one is unsuccessful, I'm going to believe they're going to be successful because everyone has been successful. So, you know. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you. Have a good night.
I appreciate the call, Terry.
I mean,
Good to hear from
according to
Terry.
his daddy, Arch Manning's daddy, he has not taken any NIL money.
I mean, and
That's
Terry's
what
right. He doesn't
said.
need to. He doesn't have
I'm
to.
just well.
I mean, they got plenty of the whole.
It's
football royalty.
Just the fact that it is so shocking that maybe a kid just wants to go and play football in this day and age. The fact that that is shocking is sad.
Well, it's shocking, but it's also not fair to just say laud him with praise because he has the ability to say, I don't need the money.
Not lauding him.
I know.
I'm just
saying
saying.
He has the security of being able to say, I don't need the money. There are a lot of kids, and maybe I believe this kid is not one of them because of where he goes to school, but a lot of these kids probably are like, yeah, I want all the NIL money I can get because I got no money right now in my family. So I get it. Yeah, it's not going to be uncommon. It's going to keep going until there was some kind of,
Some kind of guardrail.
And really, even if there's a guardrail, how do you stop it if a local car dealer wants to say, well, I want to pay him $6 million to do blank? How do you stop it? What do you say? Well, if you're the NCAA, you're saying, well, he can't make money on his name, image, and likeness. That's been the whole argument. You know what I mean?
Well, I think you got to cut it off at high school. I mean, you cannot offer this business about buying high school football recruits. That's still illegal. I know everybody winks at it, but it literally is still illegal. You got to start treating it that way. And so the whole point of NIL was for players to capitalize on their fame. These kids aren't. I mean, they're famous yet.
But I mean, look at it another way. And again, we're all doing it. Whoever is not doing it, they're the teams that aren't any good. I mean, do you think?
Well, I'm talking about the powers that be.
I'm talking about tampering within the transfer portal. It's the same thing. You're not supposed to call them beforehand. I mean, and do you think that these teams aren't calling somebody that they want to be a quarterback or a wide receiver or a defensive tackle and saying, hey, come here? I mean, do you think Alabama didn't talk to Tyler Buckner? Do you think Auburn didn't talk to Peyton Thorne?
Somebody is making a connection.
And I say Alabama and Auburn very loosely because you're right. It's probably a friend of a friend, however you want to say it. But you're telling me that Peyton Thorne and Tyler Buckner went into the transfer portal having no idea they're going to go to Alabama or Auburn?
Yeah, as late as that happened. No.
I mean, it's not reasonable to think that. Now, what I've chosen to do now is to be a lot more forgiving of it all because it's so commonplace that you cannot get this back in the bottle. We all have to deal with this. And if the NCAA were to step in and say, okay, we're about to be as authoritarian and draconian as we can be when it comes to punishments and following the rules and making sure you do it and being a watchdog, how do you stop it if a local dentist says, I want, Frank Smith, the 5-star quarterback down in Foley, I want him to be my team's quarterback, and I'm going to pay him $6 million a year to be his sponsor. Now, I don't care if he really says my name.
That dude's cleaning some teeth.
He's cleaning a lot of teeth. I know.
Look,
he's a British doctor.
It's all heading toward. Look, I'm telling you, when they unionize, it's over. It's all over.
Again, I agree with you. I don't know about over, but I think it's going to be much, much different. And it's certainly going to take a little
and everybody's
off of
got an
football.
agent, and it's over.
But again, from their perspective, and I'm on your side, I don't want it to happen. I want you to understand this. I guess I'm just trying to look at it from the other side. Like, if you come from nothing and your only way out for your whole family, generationally, is to make money, is to play athletics and get paid for it immediately, and you're going to go put your neck on the line for Alabama or Auburn, and we can say all we want to about how it's a free education and blah, blah, blah. That's true. But we also don't really make them go to class. We don't.
Well,
I mean, we kind of do.
Basketball players, I agree. Football players, I think a lot of those.
But they don't have to take the hardest classes.
Oh no.
it's not like now some of them do it on their own, and that's awesome. I think they're awesome people. But if you know you're going to be a fantastic NFL player,
which nobody really does know that, man.
You don't, but I don't know.
That's
man.
why we all assume.
I'm just saying that's even more reason to say, okay, I'm good right now, and I don't know I'm going to be an NFL player, so I need to get my money right now. I might get a lot more later, but I might get hurt.
Well, go and star as a freshman and then get every endorsement that you can.
I understand, but
that's what it's on.
So you're saying that how are you going to stop somebody from telling them they're going to get an endorsement?
It's illegal.
But how do you stop it?
Well, you start handing out death penalties. That'll cut it off really quick.
Well, that also punishes every other kid who is getting a free scholarship.
And they'll go to another school.
The only way I think you could stop it is if you hit them in the pocketbook. I'm not pro death penalty for anybody, because what you're doing is you're hurting kids.
I mean, the death penalty means you get banned for a year. Basically that's.
Yeah, but you're going to be taking away you're taking away a kid's opportunity to go to college now.
No, I'm not. They'll go to somewhere else.
They will, but you're pushing somebody out.
They'll be invited.
And those people that left take somebody else's scholarship. You take somebody else's. You take somebody else's.
Well, no. You make a rule that you can expand the roster to 100 or whatever. You know, if somebody gets the death penalty. There's ways around it.
No, there's not.
Yeah, sure there are. We got to take a break. We're way behind. We'll be back with more Sports Blitz Live right after this.
Have you stopped by Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store lately? If you haven't, you should. You'll find great pieces for your favorite do-it-yourself project. Lightly used name brand clothing by Free People, North Face, Matilda Jane, Patagonia, and a whole lot more. And while you're there, don't miss the shoes, decorative pieces, classic and new books, and Auburn and Alabama gear that won't cost you a fortune. So stop and shop at Lifesavers Mission Thrift Store today for a unique thrift experience that won't break the budget. Lifesavers Mission Thrift, located on East University behind Zaxby's.
OGS Tournaments. Russell Marine and State Farm agent Aaron Warren present Crank for Bank 2023, April 1st through July 4th. Win over $1.5 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 50 tag crappie are waiting on you. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or shores of Lake Martin. Get registered now online at crankforbank.com for only $110 for 13 weeks of fishing. It's Crank for Bank 2023.
Heritage South Credit Union in Alexander City is your community credit union, and they have been for over 80 years. Heritage South Credit Union proudly serves Tallapoosa, Coosa, Lee, Chambers, Randolph, and Chilton counties. From checking to business accounts, to share savings to club accounts, to their kids club and investments. Visit them online at myhscu.com. Heritage South Credit Union, your community credit union for 80 years. Federally insured by NCUA.
Planting season is here, and the Potting Shed Garden Center is happy to give you professional landscaping advice when it comes to planting your shrubs and trees. Auburn's best kept secret will have it all this fall. Mums, pansies, pumpkins, and much more. All in an array of colors and sizes, along with beautiful pots and containers, indoor plants, and a great selection of other gardening gifts. It's all at the Potting Shed Garden Shop, where natural elements reign supreme. Located on the corner of Moore's Mill and Society Hill Road in Auburn.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to sell your car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than King Honda. As a local family-owned business, we're committed to providing you with the best service and value. Nobody pays you more for your vehicle than King Honda.
You've trusted us for generations. You can trust King Honda to give you top dollar for your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not. Trust in our time-tested tradition of excellence at King Honda.
Visit King Honda today and get top dollar for your vehicle. Located on the corner of Opelika Highway and 280.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. Just a few more segments left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for being with us. I'm not, begrudging anybody an opportunity, and I get it. They want to make money. I'm not talking about their desire. I understand that. When I say it's over, I mean for me. When you unionize and you basically have minor league football, and I don't know how you marry that with college athletics. I don't know what it becomes after that, but I think that's the direction we're heading.
The part of it is just capitalism. Part of it is the greed is universal with it. I mean, you can talk about the players being greedy now. Well, I mean, do you remember I think it was like the early mid-'90s, Steve Spurrier got $1 million. Everybody was like, this is bananas.
Yeah.
I mean, and now if a coach is making $9-10 million, who's the coach at Michigan State whose name escapes me right now? I mean, he signed a gazillion.
Mel Tucker.
Brian Harston gets $15 million and was an absolute train wreck. Gus Malzahn gets 20-some-odd million and gets to go get another job paying $3 or $4 million. Yeah. I mean, it's universal, and the schools are just as guilty too. I mean, the schools are raking the fans over the coals, and it's all across the board. It's not just everybody wants to blame the kids. It's not just the kids, and it's not just the families of the kids or anything like that. I mean, it's across the board, and a part of it is just. We all accepted it with the coaches. At first, we had our, oh, my God, Steve Spurrier getting $1 million moment. And then we were like, okay, well, I mean, you better win. And then, of course, he kept winning. So, I mean, it's worth it. I mean, Nick Saban is worth 5 times what he's being paid, probably. I mean, to the state of Alabama, to the city of Tuscaloosa, the University of Alabama, to the SEC, to college football in general. I mean, he's been unbelievable. But what starts to ruin it is when you got guys that aren't very good coaches making $10 million a year. Now, in their defense, what they're saying is, hey, I got to get my money on the front end. There's so much risk. I mean, it used to be a college coach, you would give a college coach 4 or 5 years because you're like, I want him to get all these recruiting classes in and cycle through. Now with the transfer portal, if you don't win immediately, Hugh Freeze turned over half his team. So, but
half his starters, anyway.
At least half his starters. Well, if he had to keep all those starters.
Now, Deion turned over half the team.
Yeah. Now, if he had to keep all those starters, the outlook for Auburn would be much less optimistic than it is now. I mean, it's not like overly optimistic now, but there's a lot of people saying 9-3. If he had to keep all those starters, I bet you there wouldn't be a lot of 9-3 people.
I bet you're right. Deion Sanders may lose a foot.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I mean, his health. I mean, that is serious business. I mean, you start amputating. He's already. I mean, once you start. I mean, I know it was just a couple of toes, but once you start, it's going to let's take a little bit more.
Yeah,
and a little bit more, a little bit more. I wonder, in the long term, that investment from Colorado, if that's going.
I mean, I think it's worked out at least for the short term. I mean, probably for the long term, but they've gotten so much exposure, so much good ink from it.
Oh yeah. Like I said, the short term is wonderful.
You don't want bad circulation in a place that gets that cold either.
No, that's true.
I know this may be off topic, but since we're talking about
save it for a minute, let's go. We get back on schedule. Take a break. We'll come back. We'll do Luke's off the topic right after this.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you're about to hear is true, and the names have been changed because Brubaker Motors has sold to Sons Automotive. You heard right. Brubaker Kia is now Sons Kia of Montgomery. Furthermore, Sons Automotive is a family business with dealerships throughout the Southeast. The name Sons Automotive is synonymous with trust, and they care about the communities they're a part of. They're excited to serve the River region, and in the interest of justice, you will be served a sentence of big savings. Sons Kia of Montgomery, family owned, family driven.
At CNT Electric, our clients are our priority. For the safety and security of your family and home, our technicians are professionally trained, drug tested, background checked, and wear uniforms with name tags. We're proud to have served the Elk City, Dadeville, and Lake Martin areas for the past 10 years. Give us a call at 256-234-0007 for all your electrical service and repair needs, or visit us on the web at www.cntelectricllc.com and spell out the word "and."
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
The food at Oscar's Cafe makes your mouth water. At Oscar's, enjoy great tasting catfish, or maybe you're just in the mood for one of Oscar's fresh salads. Even kids know the place for a fine meal is Oscar's with a great kids menu. Oscar's also has great tasting burgers full of backyard flavor. So come on out to Oscar's Cafe for great food and homegrown hospitality. We're located on Highway 49 South in Dadeville, just before the Blue Creek Bridge. And remember, it's all fun and games till there's only one cheese ball left.
Life is a sequence of little successes. The story of my Southern Union success began the day I walked on campus, making new friends, mastering a new skill, reaching a personal goal, the encore performance, the first date, the internship, and now, soon, the dream job. That's the story of my Southern Union success. Register for classes and get ready to watch your Southern Union story come to life.
OGS Tournaments. Russell Marine and State Farm agent Aaron Warren present Crank for Bank 2023, April 1st through July 4th. Win over $1.5 million in cash and prizes. Over 200 tag bass and 50 tag crappie are waiting on you. All ages are welcome. Fish from the dock, boat, or shores of Lake Martin. Get registered now online at crankforbank.com for only $110 for 13 weeks of fishing. It's Crank for Bank 2023.
Welcome back, everyone, to Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke here with you. About 20 more minutes left in tonight's show. Thank you so much for being with us. LSU up 3-0
and
on Tennessee.
Tennessee had a man on, nobody out, and they hit into a double play. And the very next play, Tennessee hits a double.
Double off the wall.
Yeah, double off the wall. No kidding. What I was going to say before, and then we'll get to whatever, but, you know, this, I'll tell you what's, I hate to say it's fascinating because in a sense it's also tragic, but this whole thing about the submersible going to look for the Titanic, I mean,
they said it can survive for 96 hours. How long has it been?
I don't think it's been 96 hours yet, but it's. I mean, let me tell you something. You're in a small submersible with like 5 other people. I ain't gonna make it to 96.
The fact that it has not, that it ain't floating to the surface, tends to mean that it's on the bottom.
Well, that's the scariest aspect to me. First of all, is there anything scarier to you? I mean, my kids saw Jaws for the first time ever. It wasn't scary to them as it was to me. It was a little scary, but not scary.
Yeah.
But is there anything scarier than like not knowing? Like, I saw at lunch today, they had searched 7,600 square miles and had not been able to locate them. How have you searched 7,600 square miles, and you knew about where they were?
Like with radar or something? Or what?
I don't know how they searched. It said on the crawler they had searched 7,600 square miles, not being able to find them. You've searched 7,600 square miles, and you haven't been able to find these, and you knew about where they went in. Yeah. You knew about where they should be. But you're saying either the currents or the ocean itself or something took them somewhere, because apparently they had a power outage of some description.
Okay.
Even if you have a power outage, you would think there'd be some kind of if everything else goes wrong, pull this string and 2 balloons will just go whoop. Now, I don't know how all the water pressure and the physics of everything work, but I would make sure there's a balloon that just goes and comes up out of the surface.
Somebody give me a 9-volt battery out of your pocket. We're going to get this motor running.
Yeah, I mean, I'm rubbing my hands together and then, putting them on the thing, whatever. I mean, I'm not trying to make total light of it. But
it may be the same place that Malaysian flight is.
That's what I'm saying. Is there anything spookier than not knowing? Because that's why I've always said this about Jaws. I wish they had never shown us the shark, really, because it would have been more frightening to not know what the monster looked like. You create the monster in your head because you would create the scariest thing that you can think of, right? But this is wild. First of all, did you know you could take a submersible to the Titanic?
I did not.
I didn't either.
Isn't it like $200,000?
It's $250,000 to go. That's why I didn't know. I mean, it's not like they're sending me a brochure.
Yeah, well, I mean, I passed on it last year. I had an opportunity.
We got a caller. Caller, you're on the air. Go ahead.
How you doing, Luke?
Doing great.
Hey, I want to give y'all a triple question. Do you think that Nick Saban's gonna ever retire at Alabama?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's going to retire. I don't know when. It wouldn't shock me if he had 3 or 4 more years in him.
Okay, let me tell you. A friend of mine told me that Gus Malzahn might be the next head coach at Alabama.
I second the motion.
I would be willing to bet a lot of money that doesn't even enter the conversation.
He said that he went to Tuscaloosa a couple of weeks ago, and he said that the rumor was happy that Gus Malzahn is not happy at Central Florida.
Well, I can certainly buy that rumor. I cannot buy the rumor that Alabama would go from Nick Saban to Gus Malzahn.
Yeah, I just don't believe it.
Yeah, I think it would be.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate your call.
That's a ray of sunshine on a cloudy day.
If you want to make Auburn fans happy, we hire Gus Malzahn. Nick Saban retires, and we hire Gus Malzahn.
Y'all would beat us.
And Brian Harsin as our coordinator. Our recruiting coordinator.
Yeah, really. Boy, now that would be a trophy. Add in Teddy Roof
to get Ted Roof.
Buddy, you got a.
Who was that guy? Tony Franklin. That guy y'all kicked to the curb after 5 games. He's sadly carrying all his books to the trunk of his Honda.
The Greasy Weasel. All right, let's do some rank 'em quickly here. You mentioned him earlier without even knowing. Lionel Richie. Happy birthday today. Born in 1949.
How old is he? Okay. Well, you're going to make me do math.
Well,
I want to do it.
So that's what?
74?
74? Yeah. Good grief. My goodness. How about him getting it done at 74?
I want to stop you just for a second because I went to see James Taylor in concert Sunday night, and I was the only person there younger than Oak Mountain, which was the amphitheater I went to.
He's like 111, isn't he?
No, he's 70. He's 74 or 5, and he was now, you don't think of him as like but he's a pretty good guitar player too. And like he was jumping off the ground. I'm like, he was getting, 8-10 inches of vertical like when he's playing. I was like, man, this guy's got some ups for a 75-year-old dude.
Thank you.
I'm just letting you know.
All right.
But Lionel Richie is even in better shape.
How about hello?
That's a good one.
Say you.
I like that.
Say me. Lady.
I don't like that one as much.
Okay. All Night Long.
That's good because you can't help but sort of dance.
Dancing on the ceiling.
And along with Dancing on the Ceiling. But did you ever see Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo?
I saw the first credits.
Well,
Then I turned.
Turbo breaks his leg, and then miraculously they just take the cast off, and he starts breakdancing, and he breakdance on the ceiling. And every time I hear breakdance on the ceiling, I think of that and how much I hated that movie. That's up there with worst sequels.
Electric Boogaloo. Endless Love. We'll add that one on the end.
I don't like Endless Love.
No Endless Love, no Lady. You hate duets.
I don't like those two.
You hate duets with
I do like Hello's always good.
Rank them. Hello, Say You, Say Me, All Night Long, Dancing on the Ceiling.
Hello, All Night Long, Dancing on the Ceiling, Say You, Say Me.
I don't. What does that mean?
I don't know either. I was going to ask you, and then I was like, and then I thought you were going to
together.
You were
That's the way it should be.
I
don't know what that means.
I thought you were going to tell me, like, give me the meaning. You know, it's one of those things where you got to pretend you know what it is because you're scared it's stupid that you don't know it. And so I wanted to ask you.
It sounds cool, but I
know it works with the song. But I mean, you know, what do a lot of songs mean? I mean, that we all, you know, Mama Say, Mama Say, Mama Kusa. Isn't that what it is? And Want to Be Starting Something?
Okay.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
Bleaking, blocking, Def Leppard. You know, I don't know. All right, so quickly here, and then we'll take a break. Brian Wilson, happy birthday today. Lead writer of the Beach Boys. I know you hate the Beach Boys, but
not a fan.
Wouldn't It Be Nice? Great song.
It's fine.
Good Vibrations.
These are all
#1
easy,
hit
by
for
the way. Huh?
you know, a million weeks. I Get Around. Now, if a girl's singing that, Sloop John B. I wanna go home. No, okay, not the one from Jaws. Help Me, Rhonda. California Girls. All great songs.
What's his name's is better? California Girls.
David Lee Roth.
David Lee Roth is better.
Come on.
The video is 100 times better because they may not have had a video.
I might agree with that.
And he goes busy bop.
He does.
He just scats on him right there.
That was pretty good, I must say.
It was good.
We got to take a break. We'll be back with one final segment. I don't think anybody cares. Right after this, be joining us.
76% of nurses say they went into the profession because they wanted to help patients. No matter the reason you decided to become a nurse, you have all the tools needed to advance your degree at Jacksonville State University. Our Master's in Nursing program is now offered fully online and can be completed in less than 2 years. You can customize a flexible course schedule so you can receive your advanced education degree all while working on the front line. JSU Nursing, your opportunity to advance your career and serve your community.
So, you finally got the boat, ATV, or side-by-side of your dreams, huh? But make it yours with marine-grade audio that'll provide crisp, high-quality sound that's loud enough to be heard, whether you're cruising on the lake or hitting a mud hole. Come see Steve at the Car Stereo Shop in Auburn, so you'll be ready to crank up the volume. Whoa, but wait, you don't have to pull out of the water and trailer it to Auburn. The Car Stereo Shop can handle all of your work at any one of the Lake Martin marinas.
Skag, the toughest name in lawnmowers. Unmatched quality and performance for over 3 decades. The clear choice, the best mower money can buy for work or at home. Top lawn care professionals and discerning homeowners know that Skag means productivity and reliability. Every Skag mower is proudly built right here in the USA. Don't settle for anything less than simply the best. Skag.
Satterfield Outdoor Living on Highway 280 in Alex City.
At Russell Medical, we're proud of our exceptional nurses, like Nurse Brandy Worthy. Brandy represents the selfless, compassionate clinical leader patients expect and coworkers admire. Brandy was recently honored with the Nightingale Award for Nursing Excellence for her high standards, sound judgment, and caring manner. Her passion for her profession inspires us all.
Being a nurse is not just what you do, it's who you are. I'm proud to be a part of the nursing team at Russell Medical. We are the link between all hospital services, providing you with exceptional, personalized care.
If you're tired of the same old, and you're hungry for something really good, then it's time to go to JR's Sports Bar and Grill. JR's has the best fingers and wings around, and their menu is loaded with appetizers, burgers, salads, and so much more. Follow JR's on their Facebook to keep up with their live music events and drink specials. And if after a long day you just want to stay in, remember JR's delivers. Call in your order at 256-329-2328. JR Sports Bar and Grill, 145 Alabama Street in Alexander City.
Talladega Outdoors in Talladega is your authorized Kawasaki sale and service center. Your home for Bad Boy mowers and Kimco scooters, four-wheelers, and side-by-sides. Rather for hunting, land management, or recreation, they have the ride for you. But they are also everything outdoor with full lines of accessories and is now your Ariat workwear and boot store, along with kayaks and outdoor accessories. Talladega Outdoor, Highway 21 in Talladega. Everything outdoor and Alabama's #1 Kawasaki dealer.
welcome back, everyone, to the final segment of Sports Blitz Live. Andy and Luke taking you up to 9 o'clock.
And solving mysteries.
Yeah.
We were talking about Andy said that the Van Halen album was called OU812.
Yeah.
It's actually OU812, just like I said.
That's shorthand for all you out there.
OU812 was going to be titled Bone, but Sammy Hagar wound up seeing a delivery truck with the serial number OU812 on it and thought it was funny. The rest of the band agreed, and at the last minute decided to call the album OU812. So it has no meaning other than Sammy Hagar saw it on a serial number of a truck and thought it was funny.
There you go. Mystery solved. John Goodman, born on this day, 1952. Revenge of the Nerds.
Which is he's the coach, and that movie's so awesome.
It's hilarious. Raising Arizona.
Which is also awesome, and he was great in that.
He was great in that. The Big Easy. Underrated.
God, I don't remember him being in it.
He was a police officer. I think he was like one of the bad guys.
Okay.
But anyway, Dennis Quaid, an underrated probably Dennis Quaid. Always that Richard Dreyfuss gets killed in a plane crash. He's one of the fire dusters. You don't remember this one? Holly Hunter's in it as well. Really good movie. Richard Dreyfuss comes back as a ghost.
Oh, God. It's like Ghost 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah, but this was before Ghost.
Okay.
Actually, a really good movie. The Big Lebowski.
Which,
of course, great. And Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Pretty good, but I'm not as high on that one as a lot of people.
I love it.
Big Lebowski is one to me. What was the first movie?
Revenge of the Nerds.
Revenge of the Nerds, Raising Arizona. Oh, man.
That's pretty good.
I'll go Revenge of the Nerds just because Lamar throwing that javelin.
That is a sight to behold.
And then Raising Arizona, and then the rest of them.
Nicole Kidman, also born on this day. 1967, Days of Thunder.
That's fine.
The Others.
It's fine. The Others is not bad.
Dead Calm.
Dead Calm's very good.
Very underrated. My Life, very depressing. Michael Keaton's died.
Michael Keaton, he's died, and he does all the videos, yeah.
And Aquaman.
Aquaman's terrible.
Could have gone Batman Forever, but I went with Aquaman.
I would rather go Batman Forever because at least
Aquaman is better than Batman Forever.
I don't know, man. Aquaman should have been so much better, and it's just
Tommy
not.
Lee Jones, who I love, the worst Two-Face ever.
Tommy Lee Jones is Southern. He's from Tennessee, and yet he has a hokey Southern accent. Like it's like he made up a Southern accent. I mean, no, I'm with you. Tommy, all right, we got a call. Let's get it real quick. Caller, you're on there. Go ahead. You got about a second.
Hey, Lou.
Hey.
I just want to ask you a quick question. I watch you and Jimmy Stein on Logged On Bama all the time. Big fan. I just want to ask a question. Who do you think is going to be the breakout receiver for Alabama this year?
Oh, man, first of all, appreciate that. I think Malik Benson, obviously, is a guy a lot of people are going to be looking at. But the other guy that I like a lot is Isaiah Bond. I mean, he's got a lot of speed. He made some nice catches.
I totally agree.
Yep. So, man, appreciate your phone call and appreciate the compliments.
Yes, sir. Y'all take care.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, what am I, chopped liver? That'll wrap it up for us on this edition of Sports Blitz Live. Thank you so much for all of you out there being with us tonight. Be sure to check the Auburn Blitz. Tomorrow at noon, me and JJ will be bringing you the show for Luke Robinson. I'm Andy Graham. So long for now, everybody. We'll talk again soon.
Have you met your local Farmers Insurance agent, Patrick Holina? He proudly serves Tallapoosa County and Alexander City families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call the Holina Agency at 256-234-0037 or stop in today at 704 Commerce Drive to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's the Holina Agency, 256-234-0037.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Coastal Construction Design is the area's storm specialist experts and offers free roof inspections absolutely free to assess your needs. Their roofing experts get your home or commercial needs handled from start to finish. They have worked with all major insurance sources for decades, and they are permitted and approved for Lake Martin. Coastal Construction Design also handles exterior restoration, including siding and gutters. They are also a GAF certified contractor. Visit coastalconstruction.pro or call 251-215-3429. Coastal Construction Design. All things roofing from start to end.
There's nothing like a brand new truck. From Sarah Automotive, new Honda Ridgelines from $349 a month, Ford Rangers from $357 a month, and Nissan Frontiers from $379 a month. One of the largest truck selections in Alabama. Plus, you get a lifetime warranty, no charge, engine, powertrain, and more. There's nothing like a brand new truck. From Sarah Honda, Sarah Ford, and Sarah Nissan, serving Alabama since 1981.
Are you looking for something really good for lunch? Are you tired of the same old fast food? Well, go to Buck's. Get a meat and 2 sides or a meat and 3 sides for the best deal in town. Buck's always serves up the best food, including fried chicken, wings, hamburger steaks, catfish, shrimp, and yes, of course, the famous Buck cheeseburger basket. And Buck's has dinner specials too. So if it's your turn to cook dinner, Buck's will be glad to do it for you. We appreciate your business and look forward to serving you.